A delegation of the European Jewish Parliament arrived on a special visit to the Hungarian Parliament in order to meet and discuss the growing anti-Semitism in the country with government leaders along with the local Jewish community. The two-day trip, meetings were held between the delegation, the Jewish community, and several key figures in the Hungarian government, including the Speaker of the Parliament, the Deputy Prime Minister, and the Mayor of Budapest.
We came here because Jewish people are really concerned about the level of anti-Semitism which raised up lately in Hungary and all over Europe. And we found it important to come to Hungary to see in our own eyes what really the situation, what the leaders of Jewish communities think about that, and how can we work together with them and the government to fight against anti-Semitism.
Unfortunately, anti-Semitism is part of Europe's DNA. It's unfortunate, it's unpopular to state it, but that's the reality. That's what history taught us. And the fact is that anti-Semitism and racism is raising its head again in Hungary today.
We are very concerned by the situation and what we hear and what we read in the newspapers about the hateful speech that we see in the parliament. And so we came here to see by ourselves and to speak with a politician, with leader of this country, and to try to develop partnership to find the good solution to diminish and to erase negative effect on the Hungarian society.
Along with the executive members of the European Jewish Parliament and the European Jewish Union, headed by Igor Kolomoisky, members of the Hungarian opposition expressed their dismay with the situation as well.
There is anti-Semitism in Hungary, and there always has been. But the particular problem we have today is that there is a party, the Jobbik party, in the Hungarian Parliament, which adopted anti-Semitic rhetoric as its official policy. Thus, this has become a social, moral, political, and cultural problem.
There are about 100,000 Jews living in Hungary. This is a thriving community with schools, synagogues, and kosher restaurants. In fact, it's one of the largest Jewish communities in Europe. Even so, its leaders seem quite concerned about the current situation on the ground.
From one hand, the anti-Semitism is growing in a scary way, because in the public discourse, the anti-Semitic speech and exclusive speech is becoming worse and worse. It's gaining more and more ground, so much so that lately we have seen a few openly anti-Semitic speeches in the parliament made by extreme right members of the Jobbik party. That's a very scary idea, because unfortunately that gives it a right for regular people to speak like that, and hopefully not, but also to act like that.
However, incitement in Hungary is not limited to hateful discourse in the parliament alone. It is becoming quite widespread in the online media.
There's one big site that has started that hatred speech in Hungary, which is called kuruz.info, which is operating from the US, and the people that write on the site obviously don't give their names, so it's very hard to take any legal act against them, and they're openly inciting people against minorities, against the Roma, against the Jews, and also in a personal way. They have taken in the past people's pictures and people's phone numbers and put them online. This is a big problem because these ideas are becoming more and more normal. This is not only bad for the minorities, it's mainly bad for the whole society itself.
Compare our situation, what was in 2 or 10 years ago, and we can say the Hungarian situation, our situation, is worse. The Jewish community should work with this situation, and we hope in the near future the Hungarian society will change this situation.
2014 will mark 70 years to the Holocaust. And indeed, the Hungarian government appointed a special memorial committee in order to inspire Holocaust education among their young Hungarian generation via research and the desired curriculum change. The goal is to commemorate this historic period in time.
For 70 years, European Jewry were in a better situation because everybody remembered the Holocaust and was very sensitive with Jewish people. Unfortunately, in the past few years, we see from year to year the increasing and different hate speeches, attacks against Jewish people, different kind of laws against the freedom of religion, like laws against circumcision in different countries. And we see too many things that show us that the people already started to forget about what kind of terrible situation these hate speeches could lead to.
History is known for repeating itself. And so one can only hope that remembering and taking action on time will prevent a potential new catalyst for intolerance and renewed discrimination in Europe. For JN1, I'm Sivan Raviv, Budapest.